Sagittarius A star, the ruler, and king of the cocoon. So let's get back to eternity with number 3. So that it comes to pass, that both eternity's stability becomes moved, and time's mobility becomes stable. So may we ever hold that God himself is moved into himself by same transcendency of motion. For that stability is in his vastness motion motionless, for by his vastness is law exempt from change. That then, which so transcends, which is not subject to sense, beyond all bounds, cannot be grasped, that transcends all appraisement, that cannot be supported, nor borne up, nor can it be tracked out. For where and when, and how, and what he is known to none. For he's borne up by supreme stability, and his stability is in himself, whether this mystery be God, or the eternity, or both, or one in other, or both in either. And for this cause, just as eternity transcends the bounds of time, so time itself, in that it cannot have bounds set to it by number, or by change, or by the period of the revolution of some second, is of the nature of eternity. Both then, seem boundless, both eternal. And so stability, though naturally fixed, yet seeing that it can sustain the things that are in motion, because of all the good it does by reason of its firmness, deservedly does hold the chiefest place. The principles of all that are therefore, God and Aeon. The cosmos, on the other hand, in that it is movable, is not a principle. For its mobility exceeds its own stability by treating the immovable fixation as the law of everlasting movement. The whole sense then, of the divinity, though like to him in its own self immovable, does set itself in motion within its own stability. It is holy, incorruptible, and everlasting, and if there can be any better attribute to give to it, it is its eternity of God supreme, in truth itself subsisting, the fullness of all things, of sense, and of the whole of science, consisting, so to say, with God. The cosmic sense is the container of all sensibles, all species, and all sciences. The human in the retentiveness of memory, in that it can recall all things that it has done. For only just as far as the man-animal has the divinity of sense descended, in that God has not willed the highest sense divine should be commingled with the rest of animals, lest it should blush for shame on being mingled with the other lives. For whatsoever be the quality, or the extent, of the intelligence of a man's sense, the whole of it consists in power of recollecting what is past. It is through his retentiveness of memory, that man's been made the ruler of the earth. Now the intelligence of nature can be won by quality of cosmic sense, from all the things in the cosmos which sense can perceive. Concerning this eternity, which is the second one, the sense of this we get from out the sense cosmos, and we discern its quality by the same means. But the intelligence of quality itself, the whatness of the sense of God supreme, is truth alone, of which pure truth not even the most tenuous sketch, or faintest shade, in the cosmos is discerned. For where is nothing of it discerned by measurement of times, wherein are seen untruths, and births and deaths, and errors. You see then, on what we are already founded, with what we occupy ourselves, and after what we dare to strive. But to you, O God Most High, I give my thanks, in that you have enlightened me with light to see your divinity. Now let's go back to what Pyamander said. He also said, to the ignorant the body is supreme and they are incapable of realizing the immortality that is within them. Knowing only the body which is subject to death, they believe in death because they worship that substance which is the cause and reality of death. Then Hermes also asked, how then the righteous and wise pass to God, to which Poimandres replied, that which the word of God said, I say, because the Father of all things consists of life and light, whereof man is made. If therefore, a man shall learn and understand the nature of life and light, then he shall pass into the eternity of life and light. Hermes next inquired about the road by which the wise attain to life eternal, and Poimandres continued, let the man imbued with the mind, let him mark and consider, and learn of himself, and with the power of his mind divide himself from his not-self and become a servant of reality. He next says, take heed what you say, for I am the mind, the eternal teacher. I am the Father of the Word, the Redeemer of all men, and in the nature of the wise the Word takes flesh. By means of the Word, the world is saved. I thought, the Father of the Word, the mind, come only to men that are holy and good, pure, and merciful, and that live piously and religiously, and my presence is an inspiration and a help to them, for when I come they immediately know all things and adore the universal Father. Before such wise and philosophic ones die, they learn to renounce their senses, knowing that these are the enemies of their immortal souls. Poimandres resumed, at death, the material body of man is returned to the elements from which it came, and the invisible divine man ascends to the source from where he came, namely the eighth sphere. The evil passes to the dwelling place of the demon, and the senses, feelings, desires, and body passions return to their source, namely the seven governors, whose natures in the lower man destroy but in the invisible spiritual man give life. Now to me this kind of food lights up my soul and I want to hear more. So Pyamander says, then, being naked of all the accumulations of the seven rings, the soul comes to the eighth sphere, namely the ring of the fixed stars. Here freed of all illusion, it dwells in the light and sings praises to the Father in a voice which only the pure of spirit may understand. Did you get the point? The Father is in the eighth sphere. What is in the eighth sphere? It's Sagittarius A star, our celestial God star. That galactic center is a radio mystery for scientists. They don't know that he is our super celestial sun that dwells in the white light. Now there are some things you have to do to get there. Notice, the path to immortality is hard, and only a few find it. The rest await the great day when the wheels of the universe shall be stopped and the immortal sparks shall escape from the sheaths of substance. Woe to those who wait, for they must return again, unconscious and unknowing, to the seed ground of stars, and await a new beginning. Those who are saved by the light of the mystery which I have revealed to you, Hermes, and which I now bid you to establish among men, shall return again to the Father who dwells in the white light, and shall deliver themselves up to the light and shall be absorbed into the light, and in the light they shall become powers in God. This is the way of good and is revealed only to them that have wisdom. Wow, this is powerful. Did you notice there is one resurrection and those that go to the plane where God dwells become powers? What does that mean? It means you don't get a body of flesh again but is given or becomes some type of power God uses. I can understand people being regenerated again and put on Earth, maybe in another star system. But becoming powers in God is where I stop. I can't go beyond becoming powers, that is still a secret. I sure hope I helped you to reason on these texts. Read them over and over until you feel safe and know them. If you do, you will be one of the people with wisdom.